America. He just gets tossed around quite a lot since he's not on an official team. So he definitely adds some stock to Follow Esports. To be honest, he's a very good fragger. Look at him go here, getting a couple of kills from the window to give his team a 3-on-1 advantage here against Strebber. And the bomb is down. No chance for him to get that to plant.
That's right. He's pinned inside this B bomb site, smoked out of the doors as well. He's up against Ocean, Wabbit, and L. So as the time comes down right now, he's just making a lot of noise, so they're going to hear him inside the site. So while this time runs out, you were talking about Desi being the official ringer of North America. You also had Toy that was a long-time ringer for Complexity as well. So hopefully you find a good home within Method, and hopefully that's going to be a key to the puzzle that's missing from Method to be a challenging team for the Pro League side, whether it be for CEVO or ESEA.
Yes,
oh, nice dink.
Yeah, Strebber getting some damage done here, but you got to think that his time's going to come here pretty soon as he's up against 3 guys, and yeah, Ocean will take him down. So, yeah, I mean, Method, they've been pretty impressive lately. I mean, they struggled last season, but they played their way back into it. We've seen them be pretty competitive this season with a 3-3 record. We even saw them beat Complexity on Mirage and ESEA recently. So that was a pretty nice little upset when there. And even when they lost to Liquid in the PGL, they were very competitive against that team. So they're definitely a team that seems to have improved over time, and they're getting good numbers out of really their whole lineup lately. A pretty well-balanced team. No real key star, but everyone being able to chime in a pretty good bit. So I definitely think they have some upside to them. But we'll see if they can, how they respond to losing that pistol round here as they're gathering up in the B tunnels for possibly a rush once the smoke hits.
Nope, they're just going to run through it, but Ocean's waiting on the platform of B. A flash comes across as well, so I don't think they'll make it across the staircase of the entrance of B. 1, 2, 3, 4, all taken down towards that B bomb site. Now, despite that, they went for that eco pistol buy. Just couldn't work anything.
Right, as you noted, just trying to flash that smoke, trying to see if they can make something happen, but just got met by those M4s and FAMASas over there in B and got taken out pretty easily. Here in this round, they will just pretty much take a full save. I see a couple of P250s being purchased, 1 smoke grenade there from Ely, but other than that, this should be just kind of an easy round for Follow Esports. I'd assume they're getting very aggressive on the catwalk here. Elson Wabbit pushing up. Method anticipating this, kind of sitting back waiting for the aggression. We do see them begin to storm out mid.
Yeah, they were trying to spot first, it seemed, but it was going to come towards that smoke area, but nobody's there. Aggressive peeks all around. This guy spotted at Xbox, and that is going to be it. So an easy round, and now we're finally going to see the first gun round of this game. The advantage that we have right now with losing 3 rounds in a row for Method is that, and not getting any kills, is that right now Hades, Ocean, and Else only have FAMASas. So if they could use the powers of the AK-47's long range against the FAMASas on a map like Dust 2, it could give them the advantage there, as they also have an op in the hands of Silent, who's going glass cannon.
Right, and Follow Esports had kind of a tough time coming into this game there. 1 tie and 2 losses in our league. They haven't really had any good results anywhere else, including losing the Method in a big way in the RGN Cup. It was on cash. They lost 4-16, so they've had some tough times, but they have Desi standing, and he's been good today, and they are getting these opening picks this round. Wabbit, great op pick there, and then Desi on the cat aggression finds Silent.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I was going to say at the beginning of the round, it was really balls out headshot in the face of Ellie with that nade. Puts him down to 49 HP, but very ballsy for Hades to peek through the double doors at the beginning of the round with nothing really being thrown, so an easy pick for Slime with the AWP. But then somehow, just 2 other mistakes came from T's side to actually overtake Cat without any support, without any nades, and 2 of them fall simultaneously at green box and at lower B. So just like that, Follow Esports takes the upper hand again for this round in terms of numbers.
Yeah, and Method are now just transitioning that bomb into the B tunnels here after losing those opening picks. They're a man down. They just have to try to make something happen here. They will put the op into Justin's hands. So look for a pick. No one is really going to be in position to get peeked out here except for maybe Desi. Ocean just kind of sitting here at car, just trying to anchor this site, but Desi is really close by here by the doors. As soon as they start making noise, he'll be able to easily turn around and assist Ocean, and here comes the hit.
Well, at least it's smoked out for them to focus towards this closet area. They're finally looking through the window. Torres gets the entry towards B, but Desi still inside the window, finally traded out. It's going to be a 2 versus 2, though, so the tides have turned. The B site's open to get a bomb plant, and they also have plenty of time to set up right now for Method GG.
And then they were in a 3v4 now, like you said, using that smoke to isolate the player in car and grab that pick, and then also limit Desi to just 1 frag. He didn't really wait for his team to try to retake 3v2. He tried to go for it all, and it didn't work out. And now it's going to be all up to Wabbit and Justin, lightning fast with the op there, able to get them both. And, I mean, Method didn't think they were going to get that one. They were a man down for a while, but they figured it out, and they put the point on the board.
Yeah, and actually, nice 3-kill there for Justin with the AWP for that round. So that's Method on the board. I thought it was going to be follow esports round, but that was just a mistake for the hold towards the B side. That smoke that they came through, Ocean should have expected somebody coming in from straight up towards the top or the front of B closet to try to take him down. He was supposed to be the main point of focus.
Yeah, that or Desi could have rotated door instead of window, maybe had a better chance to help him out. Either way, it just didn't pan out, and now Method just rolling into B very rapidly here. They pick up Ocean again. Desi low on HP, just trying to make a play by himself. Yet again, and he finds 2 headshots. Really well done.
Yeah, and I was just listening through, so Oso is... It's actually quite interesting to see that Oso, like, you could actually have a coach spot. It's been a long time since I've seen that, so he was mentioning it there. You guys knew that he was there. You guys just had to wait after taking a site. They'll peek through. Toy's watching that flank, though, drops 2 of his own and traded out by Wabbit. So it's a 2 versus 2. Nice quick scope there by Silent in the face of Wabbit. 2 versus 1. Else is inside the site, down to a 1 versus 1. The bomb is down. Now he pushes through. Silent in the air. Could have gotten headshotted again. And that would have been the same mistake as he had towards that green boxes before. And now Silent wins with the P250 in the face of Els to clutch that. And that was a save by Silent and by Toy as well, with a mistake at the beginning of the round as they overtook B.
Yeah, just really well done there from Method. Just overpowering Ocean yet again in the B side. Desi again trying to make a play. He does actually get a couple of kills that time before going down, but still just not enough. And that's the thing. Desi's going to take those duels hit or miss, so it can either be a burden or it can be just a huge playmaker for you coming in as that sub. And that round, though, just wasn't enough. And Follow Esports is going to be on pistols, giving Method a great chance to tie this thing back up. We do see some slight aggression on the cat from Follow Esports with Hades and Wabbit. Seeing Ocean playing mid. So they're very, very focused on this mid and short A, just trying to see if they can make something happen with these pistols. And Method, though, to their credit, playing very smart here, very slow, just working the map cautiously.
Yeah, and I like how, it's in a way stacked towards mid doors right now on this eco for Follow Esports. Can they get a kill right now? They do have a deagle in the hand of Hades towards A. Still waiting for this P250 on the top, but they don't manage to get the kill. They get a dink though onto Toy, but that's it. But not to throw you on the bus here, Dust Muret, but do you know a little bit about Oso as a coach? I don't know myself.
I remember he was a player for a while with some of these guys on some different teams before they had made it to the Pro League. As a coach, though, I know he's been doing it for a while. I've seen him in the game before with him, like earlier this season, so I know he's been doing it for quite some time. But I don't know how effective he is or what he actually does. You know, I don't know how he plays a role in the team. No, I'm not sure how hands-on he is or what.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I see Oso as a coach in my terms of experience. But just from that last round that I was mentioning before, when he said, "Guys, we just have to wait," just like we knew he was going to come towards the window. So I'm assuming that he does have some say in terms of strategies that they're trying to execute. But also at the same time, when Justin was trying to prove his point that, you know what, we had to execute that, he actually put him in his place to say, no, listen, we really only had to wait. And the players actually listened to him. So I think he's going to be a viable part in terms of like keeping the common composure of the terrorist scene, but also at the same time working with Toy.
And there's just a relentless aggression from Method on this B side of the map so far this game, doing so much damage. Els does sneak one in there, but it's still a man advantage here to Method. Getting this bomb down in the B site. We do have a long flank coming in here from Hades, but they're so spaced out. We might even see them just... Oh, no, now they're starting to gather up to actually make the retake. They do find a pick as well, so we'll see if they can make this 3-on-3 happen.
Yeah, exactly. From a 3-on-3, it could be a call for them to be able to take this site, but they just run through smoke. Els runs through it without any support from his team. Now Wabbit is trying to move through. He's now to the last man standing. He gets a quick scope, but then traded up on the crossfire from tunnels and from platform. That's going to be it. Method takes the lead after losing the first 3 gun rounds. They win 4 in a row, and they're going to put Follow Esports back on a safe.
Yeah, so, I mean, Method winning the last 4 rounds in a row, and a lot of it has just come from how they've been able to exploit this B-bomb site time and time again. And now we have Follow Esports going to be just on the pistols here, so that's just going to add more to it. They're going to get really strong on long A. That is where Method actually sent some players, but Ely still able to get the pick, so the aggression not working out here from FE over at long A. Ely just picking them apart with the help of Strebber.
Yeah, again, it's just eco kills, and you know what? The amount of times they're working with guns towards the B-bomb site, they could focus just on firepower if they had to come against an eco towards long. So they just had the better spawn. They pushed through. They knew the money situation coming up against esports as well. But now it's going to be Ocean inside the smoke. He's going to let 3 of them cross over. He's maybe going to try to walk through this after, but we still have the Opera inside the pit. And there you go. Elliot, though, is going to drop down. Death from above. last man standing now. Desi is inside B site, and that's going to be it.
I mean, surprised he didn't try to come over or something. I mean, he's got just a 5-7, not really a whole lot to save. Plus, they're on max loss bonus next round, so it would have made sense just to try to help out and get some more exits, but he could still maybe find an exit from where he is if anyone decides to come his way. Strebber, though, will just push in with a nice flash, take care of him pretty easily, and so that's now 5 in a row for Method, so they've really recovered well after that initial start in the pistol round.
So we're going to put a knob back in the hands of Wabbit. Hopefully they can work things out here, but they are strapping a little bit in terms of money because he could only afford... Okay, well, 3 kits is enough, actually, right now. So they're fine for this gun round here, but they actually have to try to win this with at least casualties as possible because you don't have enough to really go for... You could go for draws with Famosis, if anything like that, if you only lose 1 or 2. But after that, it's going to be some sort of a broken 5. What a pick there by Strebber onto Wabbit to start things off. Just on the catwalk side.
That's so big. Trying to do that cat aggression on the CT side. They've done that quite a lot. They've been, you know, every time Wabbit's had an op, that's how they tried to open with him, but this time he just gets caught massively. What a shot from Strebber. You can't account for that if you're on the CT side. I mean, he just got straight up blasted. That's really, really rough here. Now Method will just begin pressing up cat. They catch L's as well, and it's just Method finding opening picks all across the map. Was B. Now they're working A quite effectively.
Now they're going to smoke here towards the A site, or should I say towards spawn, but Hades is still on the top at the A ramp. He's going to be able to take down Silence. So the Opera's down on the other side too, so this could still be a key hold right now. But Hades, once again, still decides to push up aggressively without any support, without any flashes or anything. He's just going for face checks. And in the League of Legends, when you're face checking bushes, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, all I can think of is just he's a man down. He's trying to make a play, but it just didn't happen. And now Desi and Ocean will just be forced to save. And I mean, Method are just playing so well across the board here. I mean, everyone's really chiming in. Their frag distribution's quite tight, which is pretty characteristic of Method as a team. They never really have like a shining star that really steps up. Occasionally, you'll see Justin really drop a big bomb, or maybe Toy. Silence a very consistent opera with good numbers, but really this whole team performs about on the same level, and you're kind of seeing that in the start of these rifle rounds here in this particular half. And they're getting the entries, man. No matter where they go, they're winning those duels. But also, you just have to say that Strebber hit a really sick shot at the beginning of this round. That was just kind of crazy. That really helped them out to get cat control.
At the same time, you were able to get some kills back for Follow eSports to just calm things out and actually reset the round. And then after that, again, it's just small mistakes of like pushing forward instead of just holding angles. Hades had a perfect spot from where he was at A ramp to get the first kill onto Cat. But after that, maybe move towards Elevator or something like that to watch Cat and Long, because you already have teammates that are watching towards B and mid. But you're going to face check towards the catwalk area, open the site after you get picked off. And because of that, you're stuck on a 3 versus 2 or 4 versus 2 for the remaining 2 players of Follow eSports, and you're forced to save. So you're not putting your team in a situation where they could go for trades.
Yeah, and there is a double op setup here now for Method, as they did go for the double pick at mid. They actually did, in fact, leg Desi down to 19. Not sure who actually hit that, but they made it work. They're also able to get out long A. Toys already cross over to blue bin here. Hades now is inside the pit. He does have support from Wabbit on the corner, but they will begin to rotate off, and Toy is just sitting here and waiting, being ever so cautious. Bomb is going to make its way up Cat. It seems like it's going to be an A split, maybe mid to B, and if they do go mid to B, Els is in such a sick position to stop it.
Yeah, and Toy actually heard Wabbit rotate back towards long A, so he knows he's only going to have to fight one guy towards this pit side. So they will try to take over this catwalk area. They're going to force to rotate out from Hades after, and Toy could just flank around, lurk, and then overtake the A site. And that's going to put, again, Follow eSports on a safe situation. But they're pushing through towards mid doors now, and they actually have a crossfire set up for the CT side on the other side. Op shot miss, but the second one connects onto Els, and just like that, 3 simultaneous kill. Toy onto Hades, Silent with onto Ocean. Now Vansilli is holding outside B doors, and it's going to be taken down by Ellie, and that is it. 4 versus 1 situation. What a round executed there in terms of entries for Method.
I can't even believe it. I mean, you think Els is in the perfect position to just stuff that. I mean, playing behind that double stack box, I mean, it's such a great angle to use. It's the first time he's used it this game as well, so you think it's going to work. And I didn't really catch it on if someone just sniffed him out and hit him in the head over the box, or if he like hopped down and got caught. But either way, Method just getting 3 unanswered frags like that, you know, on the beginning of their execution, you just can't ask for a better result than that if you're Method, to get that much out of your start.
He has so much confidence. They're going for a double up setup on T side, and they're rushing inside B again. So can they overtake Ocean and Desi this time? No, they can't. So should I say on Follow Esports side, they cannot hold it. So they both get taken down, but it was an Eagle coming through.
Yeah, I mean, they just had that deagle. Desi was able to get one kill, but then he got overrun. The nice flash comes in, so Wabbit able to sneak in and find another frag. And Al's even finding one at the window, so this is actually getting a lot closer than anticipated. We'll see if they can carry it through here. Strebber still on the site, though, going to find Els, no problem. Now all up to Hades with the deagle. Does find one. This is getting rather interesting.
Oh, he's going to go for the white peak right now. Catches him with the nade in his hand. He takes down Justin, comes in for the defuse, and I just want to go into third-person mode just to see the wires come out. They're going to get the defuse, and it's going to be 7-4 in favor of Follow Esports. And that was a nice eco save, actually, after all, on a retake, despite all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know if it was just Method kind of over-peaking a bit. You did have a guy kind of in an aggressive position post-playing at window from Method that got caught by Els. That probably shouldn't have happened. So you had a couple little mishaps like that, but it was just Follow Esports making some nice plays. I mean, how they flashed that player through the door to pick up an extra kill there. Desi did find one initially with the deagle. So little by little, Follow Esports kept themselves in the round. In the end, they actually make it work and win it. And that's a big round to win, seeing as that's their first round that they've won since the pistol round pattern. And it comes on an eco round. That's kind of crazy, considering how many rifle rounds they've lost this half.
Yeah, just keep pistols for the rest of this half or something like that. But you know what? It is still winnable right now for Follow Esports. Winning 3 rounds in a row to start things off, getting an eco win, hurting the economy so far just a little bit for Method. But if they win this one here and another one, you might see them at possibly an 8-7 or 9-6, which should be very comfortable for them on the CT side to start things off.
Yeah, Justin able to do a lot of damage to Wabbit here to the door. They are staging up over towards Cat. Els is kind of playing aggressive on it. Not completely committed, as Hades is just watching Long A very passively. They have no presence at Long, but Hades just covers it with his op. We do see Els pushing out, but Strebber catches them. That is going to be the opening pick for Method, as they will fall off of this and maybe transition to some type of mid-B.
Well, Hades is able to trade back against the Opera, so it's a 4 versus 4 on this 2-op setup, this time on the CT side, and that actually forced Method to fall back from Catwalk and then try to reset, take control of mid, and go for a mid to be split here. But Desi's just on the other side of mid double doors. Yeah, and Toy's making his way towards this B bomb site. Wabbit will have to try to hold it here. Good smoke. That's going to hold it back for a long time. He goes for the double. He gets the double. RKO out of nowhere. And now Strebber grabs the bomb.
Man, you gotta do a slow build to the RKO, man. You can't just come out and say RKO nowhere. You gotta.
Hey, actually, you
he's
can.
Slithering.
You gotta. That's how it works.
Okay.
Anyways, Desi comes in, gets the last kill onto Justin, and that's gonna end the round there with no time remaining. On top of that, and Follow Esports, big round there, and a nice hold for Wabbit.
Yeah.
The fact that he got the kill before the smoke came out too just added a little the nail to the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, having an op at the back of the B platform is just so powerful. Not even if he doesn't get a 2-for-1 like that, it's still so good to have. And the fact that he got that 2-for-1 just is like icing on the cake for having such a strong position. And as you said, just the timing on it, peeking before the smoke deploy, getting that one last check before you have the wall up, so to speak, and he just lands a nice shot there. So we're seeing a little bit of life out of Follow Esports here, winning a couple of rounds in a row now, so finally getting back into the game. But Method still plenty of money with the big winning streak that they had, and most of those rounds were quite dominant too until they lost those 2 rounds. So plenty of money was banked up here, but they have gotten into a point where they still have plenty of money actually, so they're sitting pretty for now. But Follow Esports is starting to wear them down a little bit.
Strebber just running through the double doors as Ocean is not going to believe his eyes after that, because he threw an incendiary grenade, and Strebber just ran through it, got the headshot, and gets the opening frag for this round. What I liked at the beginning of this round as well was that there was actually a leg shot against Wabbit and Silent face-to-face mid double doors to start things off in a round. So nobody got a kill, but at least they put both of each other down, and at a disadvantage there, going hard mode in mid round this time.
And Desi has pushed through B tunnel, so lots of information gained from that. Wabbit can just focus on mid, and Desi can actually come into backstab, and he will in fact catch Ely jumping up on the Xbox, and the rest are Cat. But Hades has his op at the A ramp, so he's able to catch this as well, and he's just doing great. He even catches the drop down also, so really, really well done here.
Wow, he gets the third one there and just dispatches them one by one with the shot here. Can Toy do it? But Hades with the deagle says, no. Gets the 4K there, and just like that, the money is still good right now for Method, but I think this should be the last. Well, maybe not, because they're gonna get bonus money after this buy here, so they can still buy for the last round. Yep.
But still really well done there. I mean, getting that pick at mid, Desi getting the information by coming lower B, that was big. And then Hades just putting up such a great defense with the op over on A-ramp, even catching the guy dropping down. That can sometimes plague oppers when the guy is able to drop down CT, but doesn't catch Hades. But Wabbit opening up now, finally make it easier for Follow Esports to win rounds. They get an opening pick. I haven't seen this in a while from them.
Definitely. And just the last round before, I heard Justin just yell here in this and the voice enable going on, and it's just like, why wasn't he blind? Why wasn't Hades blind? So there was a little bit of misthrown flashes to overtake the A side. Now let's see if they could actually recap, especially now that they're on a 5-on-3 situation, to overtake this. Yes, this time the flash is perfect for Sturbo to run through the double doors and get the headshot onto Wabbit. So that's one opper down. It's now a 4-on-3 situation in favor of Follow Esports, but an op still in the hands of Hades.
Yeah, so I mean, they're still a man down over here on Method. Sherber made it a little bit better there. As they are still with plenty of time on the clock, they are making that bomb move into B tunnels, which there is actually no one even close to B right now. So if they can hit this timing, they would just get a free B bomb site at this point, as Desi and Ocean are just focused together on the doors. Not bad, just staying together in numbers, not wanting to give up an advantage, but Desi will now move back to the B window. Ocean will just hold in CT spawn, and so it's going to be up to Desi to try to anchor this site and hold off this initial push.
All right, so can they get it? Desi's inside this site, getting ready for the 3 guys to peek up here. They're waiting for the opera to peek as well. Now it's going to be a triple setup, but they look at the wrong angle at the wrong time, and they are going to be frustrated out of that because he gets a double kill before Justin takes him down. But just like that, it's a 3 versus 1. Not enough time left on the clock, so Ocean's going to peek out through the window and take down Justin. And we're moving down to the last round of the first half with 4 rounds, 1 in a row for Follow Esports to come back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so big because, I mean, Method, ever since the initial rifle round on round 4 and forward, when they were winning, you know, 7 rounds in a row, they were just bullying Follow Esports. I mean, no matter where they went, they were getting entries, whether it was a quick B rush, whether it was working up cat or long A, they were always able to get the initial pick, and they were just able to just bully their opponent, basically. But now, lately, Follow Esports has had some big plays from some different guys, like Hades, like Desi, just like pretty much Els even. Like, they've all chimed in here lately, and they're finally putting up some holds to some of these initial map control grabs that Method are trying to put out there. And now it's going to be long A for the contest.
Oh yeah, and the amount of times that B didn't work, they're going to finally come towards long. They're trying to take over A site. They managed to get the opening onto Els, but really a retaliation from a nade on a 2 silent, though. It's a 4 versus 4. Lots of rage going through as well. One more time. They're going to nade towards the car, but also Ellie is down to 7 HP. Desi's down to 9, so it's still virtually even in terms of HP.
I love that what Method did, that they put a smoke wall up on long A to isolate the pit player. Something that Navi kind of implemented and created, and we've seen a couple of different teams using it now, and it was really cool to get that. It's just unfortunate for Method. Hades through the smoke gets a kill and evens it back up, which is probably why Method was a bit upset. But we'll see how they play out this 4v4. They are bringing that bomb upstairs to the catwalk here, so it seems like they want to try to take a pick onto A, and there's only one player here. It's going to be up to Wabbit.
So can he hold it now? Wabbit is currently just overlooking with that AWP. The smoke comes through, so that's going to help him a little bit. They force the molly out. They know he's holding back towards the goose area, so Ellie is moving up right now. Wabbit manages to get the kill, but then with no HP remaining, Ellie takes him down, and it's now going to be 14 seconds left on the clock. Toy's going to go for the safe plan at single box, but look at that. Nobody's long, nobody's cat. All 3 of them were still mid for the rest of the CT side. Now it's going to be the retake game.
And 3-on-3 retake here. We are seeing Ocean come up, Cat, the other 2 coming up the A ramp. Ocean does actually find the first frag onto Ely. Toy just playing here on the A ramp. Has a crossfire with Justin, so we'll see if they can make it work.
That is a perfect flash being thrown there, and a lot of information was taken away there by Hades, but now on the full defuse, Ocean's going to get it, and what a comeback for Follow Esports, ladies and gentlemen. We have a game moving on to the second half. And the reason why I said a lot of information here by Hades is because you went for the jump peak with the AWP. So nobody there inside the site, so nobody at Goose. So they know they were setting up at least a crossfire or 2 of them playing long. That's why Ocean flashed over from the catwalk. They went for the double peak. They went for the trades down to a 1 versus 1. Knowing the last guy was that long, got the easy defuse.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Method, like, the bomb wasn't planted for long A at all. So when that initial crossfire failed and Follow Esports got the better end of that trade, there was just no chance at that point with the remaining player out of position to be able to stop that defuse. So they just kind of banked on getting the kills on the CTs rotating through the slope, and they just didn't get it done. And what a recovery from Follow eSports, right? They lost 7 rounds in a row after winning that 3-0 pistol round pattern, only to come back and win the last 5 rounds in a row for themselves to still secure the half going into the T side. So not a bad CT side at all for Follow eSports, especially considering that they are using a stand-in. So that's going to make things a bit tougher on you when you're playing up against a full team. But Desi, known to be a pretty solid fragger, and I mean, he did top frag that half with 19. So
exactly,
a good stand-in to have at that point.
He did his part whenever he could to hold towards the B bomb side, and yeah, it was a little bit sketchy to start things off, but then they were able to have such a great hold towards B side, which actually changed the whole strategy around for Method to try to take over A. But then on A side, Hades was on fire as well with the AWP, and they just couldn't work anything. The only thing that worked for them was the picks, the flash picks towards mid doors, taking down or Ocean or taking down Wabbit. But aside from that, they can't capitalize on top of that to overtake a site. They're just strong site holders right now for Desi and for Hades on the first half.
Yeah, again, in the beginning of the first half, it was Method being able to just bully opponents, like always getting the opening pick. I mean, that did continue on for a while. As you noted, Strebber was able to come out mid doors a couple of times and grab some kills. But you noticed that many of those occasions, that was just to try to equalize the man count again, because now all of a sudden Follow eSports was getting an opening pick with their op, with Wabbit or Hades or something like that. So it was trying to play catch up basically by sending Strebber out there. So, I mean, I would say Follow eSports just did a great job recovering is really what it boils down to. I mean, Method had a good thing going for him there on T side for a while, but Follow eSports was able to, rise to the occasion and respond in a big way to secure the half. It's still a close game, though. It's Dust 2, pretty balanced map. It's still anybody's game at this point, but you got to like what Follow eSports was able to do there towards the end of the half.
So mind you guys, this is only the first map if you just tuned in here on MLG.TV/play CEVO with myself, Vansilli, and also Dust Moret, covering the Pro League of Season 8 between Follow eSports and Method. We're about to start the second half very soon, and this is only the first map and the best out of 2. So actually the second map is going to be Mirage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So that is going to be coming up next, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere, and actually tell your friends and tell your family to tune in and enjoy some wonderful CS with your wonderful commentators, more Dust than myself. But we're about to start here this second half. The CSGO Lounge roster rundown for Follow eSports, this time on T side. It is composed of Hades, Ocean, Wabbit, Else, and Desi. And for Method, we got Strebber, Justin, Silent, Toy, and Ellie. Now, I just got to say this before we start here. If the 9 stands for an I for Justin, does the 9 stand for an I for Strebber, and it's actually going to be Strebbeer?
I think it's just it replaces a vowel.
Yeah, I'm just effing with you. But we're starting things off. Desi coming up towards lower B. Whoa, pushing through the double doors. Gets the headshot into Justin as 2 of their teammates for Memphis side would both flash towards the catwalk. Now to move it down. Strebber gets the kill. Toy it on to Desi. And just like that, they retake the upper advantage in terms of numbers on the CT side. But they are pushing in towards B. Trying to pinch in towards Silent in the back of the platform. But somehow he's still alive. Dodging bullets like Neo. Gets the headshot into Wabbit. Gets another one into Els and saves around for Method. And that, my God, was a bloodbath from beginning to the end. Sorry I didn't give you any mic time, Dust, but that was just nonstop.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that Silent survived for so long at the back of the B platform as they were just attacking him from 2 different angles for quite some time, and then he recovers and still winds up just straight up, winning the fight with 2 kills. So that was a big job there from him in the back of the B site, and this means that Method will immediately tie up the game, and now they have a good chance to extend that to a lead of 10-8 as long as they don't allow these Tech 9s from Follow eSports to do much damage. So we do see Follow eSports gearing up at the back of the catwalk here for now, just waiting to see if there's going to be any type of mid-aggression or anything like that. And now they will just quickly spill out as a unit up the catwalk. They put that smoke up on Xbox to cover Justin from really being able to spot this, and they will just work themselves up the cat. But Justin's quick to rotate, and Silent and Toy are in position, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, so it's going to be up to Silent right now to hold inside the A site. He does have a FAMAS, though, as they're creeping up here, getting set up probably for a Molly to clear out the site. Yeah, there you go. There's that Molly being thrown by Ocean. Now they peek out. Silent holding it up for the first thing, but they drop towards Elevator as well. Justin moving up from Elevator, and that is going to be just like that. Nothing more that they could do for Follow eSports.
Yeah, I mean, they just tried to work up the catwalk, but just really well capitalized. They even tried to drop down that smoke and CT spawn, but that P90 rotation there was able to pretty much catch that before it could do much. And now Follow Esports are pretty much stuck on just taking pretty much a full save here, maybe a couple of P250s or something, but it should be a pretty easy round for Method to just make this 10-8.
Just a few nades to start things off on the CT side, just to hold off the doors. And after that smoke, they're just going to decide to run through. And that's going to be open season right now for a Silent, but he gets flashed himself. They're going long range fights now. It's going to be Toy that manages to get a hat trick there. And one more remaining towards long. It's going to be Wabbit, denied by Toy. And Desi now the last man standing, trying to come through this double doors. But he's actually stuck just because of that smoke. He can't come through. And then he was just trying to spray across with the P90 that he picked up there. But that is going to be it. Moving back towards Catwalk. Toy looking for the ace to no avail, so he gets the headshot coming through. So 2 versus 1 could still be winnable here, as Desi has an overpowering Tech 9 and a P90.
Yeah, I mean, they've actually played this into a pretty close round, despite the fact they pretty much had nothing invested into it to begin with here, as Desi does, in fact, catch Strebber rotating over towards long A, but he's making a lot of noise here as he runs up, and Ely's going to be able to pick up on that here. He will be able to turn around. He will finish him off. So Method do secure the 3-0 start here to the half. Wasn't a clean win by any means on that particular round. It got a little bit dicey there, but they still pull it off. And now they will be up 10-8. And I wonder if see Ely here, if he's going to keep that or not. I mean, money's kind of tight, actually. If they lose this round, they could be forced to stay. That's why you're seeing them be a bit conservative and actually stick on a couple of SMGs.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice gamble right now for Method to keep those submachine guns with Silent with the MP7. So in my opinion, I would play a little bit more closer. And that's it. He's actually playing at the entrance, literally, of the B halls. So he's going to be the first one that's going to try to input as much damage as he can. And they're going to go for a double peek. They actually catch a bomb here, but he manages to escape down towards lower B. The nade comes down. He's still hunting down and also trying to go for the trade. But after they see nobody there, falls back. And they're just going to rehold and reset. But that's a lot of information.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, they have to make these plays. They didn't really have the money. Like, if they were to lose this round, they needed some type of cash reserve. So that's why they held onto these SMGs and are trying to make them work. And Justin able to catch one, trying to put the smoke there at CT spawn. And now Ely putting the P90 to work, catching this mid to B attack. And now Silent chiming in with his. And man, they just really stuffed this mid B attack from Follow Esports in a big, big way. And that's going to be it.
And just a tappity tap 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 from Strebber in the head of Hades to end the round. And that's a flawless victory there for Method GG. And that's surprising because it's a flawless victory where they actually held the B bomb site with a P90 and an MP7.
Yeah. Ugh. This one feeding him through the window. He's got the P90 up close, able to take care of it. No problem.
There's some tilt. There's some tilt going on. I could feel it.
Oh, I'm sure Follow Esports is a little bit ticked by that, but they are just going to have to take the save here, and then just will force out of long A as quickly as they can. They do pick up Toy. Justin not able to get all the way out of there. He will be stuck at Game Helper for now, but he does at least find one kill, and now he does have Silent rotating in for support with that op, and they should be able to hold this now.
They're peeking out. Justin gives away a little bit too much. He gets the first frag onto Desi, though, but quickly deagled by Els. But just, they don't have any armor to work with. They don't have really any more smokes to work with either. So it's going to be easy for Silent right now to get the first pick. Now the bomb is stuck inside the... no, actually, I thought it was the bomb stuck inside the pit. But Ocean's just jumping around, trying to create the bait. But how effective can you be long range with a Tech 9? Probably not as much. So now he's pinned there. And Ocean's going to try to look for the flank back. But he's already going to get pushed here by Strebber at the same time. Spotted and taken down.
Yeah, so Method just doing great work here. They win the pistol, they get the first 3 rounds, and now they won the first gun round, forcing another save to get the 5-0 start. So now up 12-8, really rolling out a nice lead here. And I mean, to be honest though, they had a great start, or a great middle part of the first half as well, but then eventually Follow Esports caught back on and gave them a really big run and even overwhelmed them to take the lead. So we'll see if that same storyline plays out here now that the sides have switched, as Follow Esports going for a big long A control take. There is no one here because we do see the double cat stack instead, which Desi has somewhat sniffed out, and they will begin to fall back.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a flash that was thrown there because they fell back quickly and nobody was picked off at lower B because they did go for a double stack to look back towards the green boxes, but also get coverage at lower B. And they never really saw Desi, and now Desi's just around the corner. This could be big for them right now, especially with this smoke. Okay, they're gonna spot the first one. They saw Toy jumping up and down, so Hades did the smart move. He actually didn't go for the first one, he just went for the booster, who was just stuck inside the smoke, but Silent still holding inside the A site. Getting one, whiffs the second one. A nice counter flash from his teammate, but he's being pushed from long as well. But gets the quick scope onto Els. Webbit still inside the side, through the boxes, sorry, gets the headshot onto Silent. Now Ocean's gonna get the bomb plant. It's a 3 versus 1. Strebber is all close though, but I don't think he's got this. Webbit gets the kill with the AWP, and that's a 3K for him, and that's gonna be 12-9.
Yeah, just being able to work against that cat aggression from Method and get the pick. I mean, Desi was able to find the first one there, and Wabbit just follows up in a big way with the odds to open up that A-bomb site. So Method trying to make a play there over on short just did not work out, but they still do have plenty of money to rebuy up here, so they're not in any type of real danger just yet, but a round loss here would likely lead to some saving in the next round, and that would give Follow Esports a chance to close the gap to 11-12. So this is a big round to win for each team to, you know, have a chance of, you know, either making the comeback if you're Follow Esports or Method, just holding them off for now. We do again see the cat push coming here for Follow Esports.
Yeah, it seems like Method liking to work towards B on T side. Well, for Follow Esports, it's Catwalk, but it's hasn't always been as effective. But this time they actually leave the A bomb site open on the CT side, so they're playing retake. So they could actually plan for Catwalk right now, and it's exactly what they're doing, and they're just gonna fall back and hold it from here.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, Toy had long A control, so that, you know, at least secures off of one side of A, but they just let him come up cat for free. I'm not sure why no one else was in position at A ramp or something like that. They were just all stuck in CT spawn, but they're trying to play the retake, but Desi just cutting them off at cat with a couple of nice AK kills. He'll find a third, and Hades chimes in for 2 as well, so really well done there from Follow Esports. Again, it just seemed weird that Method got caught so out of position on that cat cross. I mean, that's such a common attack, and to only have Toy at pit and have no other presence A, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, and when they actually had stacks on Catwalk, though, they were able to get and dispatch him, Follow Esports, that is, just towards that Catwalk through smoke. So they actually spotted weakness towards Method towards that side. And just playing a retake for Method side for the retake and just actually leaving Catwalk open and not really set up for a retake on Cat either. It was just questionable, yeah. But Eco coming in.
Yep. And they did push long A on it while the bomb slipped into the B bomb side, so we're not going to see a whole lot of meaningful action except for Method maybe being able to pick up a gun here and there. They did, in fact, pick up an AK off of Elves, but that's probably about all they can hope for unless they can also catch some people falling back into B tunnels.
They're just going long range with these right now, so the save round coming through. Silent made his way towards T-spawn. They're still trying to take down Wabbit's AK-47, but Toy with only 4 HP. I don't think he'll make it there. And Ocean close to Justin just at lower B. So Toy falls down. Last one on the top of Xbox, or should I say on Catwalk ledge. Bomb is going to go off, so it's going to be 1 round away from tying things up again between these two teams on this first map.
Yeah, I mean, Follow Esports, again, just kind of avoiding the eco stack at long A by just doing pretty much a straight-up B rush, and they are able to secure the round. So as you said, just 1 round away from the tie now, but we are going to have Method back to bind. They do have the op and silence hands. M4s across the board for everyone else. An equal split of silence and unsilenced Colts over there for Method. And I'm just kind of curious to see what they're going to do here. They are, again, only putting over 2 at A right now. They put a lot of emphasis on mid. They're actually going to do a push through this smoke. They're boosting up on Xbox for the op pick, and Silent grabs it. So a nifty play there to get the opening kill from Method.
Cheeky, but he gets the upper hand. And then just because of that, they could actually reset and focus more towards this A/B stack and really leave middle open, because the way that they're playing, Silent was opping it from the car side, but now that it's smoked out at spawn, forces position out a little bit here, but they're still going to leave middle open, and this time have the B guys look towards mid. So Silent somehow still out in the open here. Was they never looked back towards cross.
Trying to save his teammate Toy, who was getting pushed by 3 players inside the pit, so he had to come out and try to help him out. He did get 1 kill, but Toy still went down. And now it is going to be Method, though, still with the man advantage. So that actually worked out all for the better. And now it's actually just going to be up to Ocean. So it's kind of crazy how that all fell apart despite the fact...
He stayed in a molly.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that Follow Esports was able to get out long and get the opening pick, they still just couldn't make their way into the site.
Yeah, but what I was also trying to say that what's like the ooh came from was Silent was out in the open at long, but the three guys on T side all looking towards pit. And I think at some point he was still looking towards middle and jumping across there with the AWP before he actually tried to connect with a shot with an op. His teammate fell down, but if they actually looked towards that cross before, they could have gotten him first and then taken the guy down and towards pit, which would have made an easier take right there for Follow Esports on the A ramp.
That's just those intricacies of communication, which are probably a bit rattled with the fact that you have a stand-in that's not communicating who's peeking what when you come on a long A. And it did, in fact, cost him there, as you noted, to not be able to pick up a really exposed Silent much sooner. I mean, he got 2 kills off before he got collected, so it's certainly, I guess, inefficient in that regard. But now we have Method holding off Follow Esports from tying the game with that play. But again, Follow Esports going back to their tried and true cat attack from what I can tell. Desi lurking towards the tunnels. Abbott still patrolling mid with his op. And there is no presence here on Cat except for Toy. He's got to spot the cross with an M4 because the op on Silent is posted up long A. I would rather them switch positions in this scenario, but they're not going to have time to.
They tried to smoke the drop towards CT, but Justin was waiting there and knew what they were going to try to do. Gets the easy kill onto Hades as they're still trying to take over this A site, and we're going to plant towards Catwalk again. So can this time Method overtake and retake the A site? They both dink each other, but Toy's going to get the upper head against Else. But they're still holding inside the site here. And one guy's still all the way towards green box mid. So Desi has to hurry up to support his team. Everybody's coming across towards elevator side. They drop both of them, and Desi's so far behind.
Heck?
It's planted for him at least. So he could try to go for the peak spam. He gets the first one, not the guy he was aiming for.
Yeah.
So the stray bullets kills him, but then Justin just trades it back. So the crown comes back in for Method.
I think Desi just waits there way too long, man. I mean, I get at some point you're trying to cut off rotations. You're trying to stop people from being able to flank Cat. But whenever your team's at a numbers disadvantage, and not only that, but you should be able to hear like 3 guys trucking CT spawn if you're Follow Esports to call Desi in for help earlier. And they just got overwhelmed by numbers at that point. So despite the fact they're able to get up Cat because the only defense was Toy watching it with an M4, they still lose to a massive retake. And that's a big loss for Follow Esports. I mean, that's like twice now this half where I feel like they had a really big edge on a map control grab, and then they still wind up losing the round. But we'll see if they can do better this time. They do have the opening pick on the Silent at long 8, so that's the op down.
Yeah, they went for a force buy here with Tech 9s and AK-47s. A little bit of miscommunication to start things off, but Hades, it's 2 kills for this round, so an opener towards long, 1 towards the site. They're taking over A right now. 1 still inside spawn, but Else is going to pick him off with the AWP that he picked up. So now it is going to be a 5 versus 1. Last guy for sure is going to save. So they stay alive to live another round, but what I was trying to say there was that there was a little bit of a miscommunication to start things off this round, Dust, because 2 of them went towards B to start things off, and then they just decided to turn back towards long. Turns out in favor on their side, but again, you could see how a little bit frustrated they could be and maybe not listening to each other a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, still a good opening pick though to take down Silent so early at long A, just giving them the initial man advantage. And then I don't know what happened with Toy, man. Like, he just got stuck in an awkward space. Like, he was trying to still defend long A where his only support was CT spawn, and no one was eyeing Cat. So, I mean, he just got killed in the back for free from a Cat cross. So, I mean, that was just easy pickings at that point from Follow Esports to secure the round. So now it's 12-14. Method pretty much has to take a save here other than upgraded pistols. So a great chance again for Follow Esports to, again, clamp down, close the gap, and put themselves in position to tie up the game. Now, from that position, they haven't been able to do it just yet, but we'll see if they can improve upon it going forward.
Yeah, so a save situation for Method, maybe even some sort of full save if they really want to have more arsenal in the hands of Strebber, but if not, it's going to be possibly a FAMAS in his hands. But they still manage to go for an aggressive push-up at long. They get the first kill onto Ocean, but that being said, that means that B side is open for them to take on a 3 versus 1. And one watching the flank, it's going to be Wabbit with the AWP. Gets the kill. One winning at the doorway. It's going to be Toy. Bomb is planted towards B. Ellie's, they're still just looking for picks and pick up guns at the end of this round here. So Strebber is able to pick up that M4 and save it so far. But Toy is still looking for one at mid double doors.
He will get picked up there by
sorry,
Desi,
B double doors.
so, yeah, so not going to find anything there. And so Follow Esports will put this thing to 13. So been quite a close game, to be honest. I mean, we each had teams go on pretty big winning streaks. But now here in these last few rounds, it's been quite scrappy. It's been, immediately back and forth rather than teams being able to get streaks. It's just a couple of rounds here or there for each squad. So we're now at 13-14, and we'll see if Follow Esports can actually tie this thing up next round.
Oh, what a shot! He's able to save that AWP Ellie onto Els, who actually just tried to go for the jump from T-spawn into dark spot. And Elliot just looked up and got the flick kill, and they were able to salvage actually an AWP and an M4 for the amount of money that they had remaining. They really needed to pick up that gun, and thanks to that, they're able to give it to Silent and go for a full buy.
All right, so let's see what happens. Els is going to actually take his AK out long rather rapidly. No one playing here. He's going to be able to detect that, so it's going to be Method playing aggressive on the catwalk yet again. And Els is certainly going to have that information. Bomb is going to be here inside the B tunnels for now. They have to know that there's going to be cat presence here, and Desi's actually trying to chase after it and grab the kill. He will eat a little bit of nade damage there, but not going to be found out, and his Method begins to fall off of the aggression a little bit here and just get in the A site. But there's still 4 players over towards the A side of the map, only 1 in B, Strebber, and he doesn't really... If they smoke CT spawn at this point and do a mid to B, he's just totally screwed.
So now they're trying to capitalize with that molly up on catwalk to push the guys back just a little bit here. But it's going to be 3 guys from the T side in the hands of, at the lead, it's going to be Else, followed by the bomb carrier Wabbit, and also Ocean to overtake the A site. So they're going to try to probably sell a fake towards mid with Desi trying to pick something off and then capitalize on towards the A site. But it's still going to be an op from Silence at long.
And Toy is going to be here up close on the catwalk, and he will find the first pick onto Desi, and Silent does, in fact, take out Ocean. So good initial hold here so far from Method. They've found all the kills thus far.
One more on catwalk here, and somehow he manages to stay alive long enough, but not just long enough for his teammate to go for the trade, actually. And just like that, moving up towards the elevator side, Ellie takes down Wabbit, and it's going to be game point for the first Method against Follow Esports.
Yeah, I mean, just a good hold from Method. I mean, they had a lot of presence on the A side of the map where you saw Follow Esports try to run the split. Toy getting that initial kill on the catwalk, pushing, and Silent with the op inside the site, being able to find kills on both Cat and Long A. So he also did his job there. And now, as you noted, they're in position to go ahead and win this map. Now, Follow Esports still has plenty of cash. It's still a full buy, and they could still win a couple and force this into an OT. That's certainly not out of the question, especially the way that this map has trended so far. We've seen a lot of back and forth. But it seems like this half, Follow Esports is always on the brink of tying up the game. They just can't punch in that last round. It seems like Method always just holds them off, you know?
I do. Double up setup right now for the CT side. They're going to go for the flash and a mid pick. They managed to get one onto Justin, and again, it's going to be Desi always trying to run through, and now they're pushing towards B, and it's going to be Wabbit that actually spotted the first one, puts the second one very low to 32 HP. Exactly. So now at least, though, they've overtaken the B bomb side, so they can still win this one towards the B side. Ocean lurking up towards catwalk, takes down Toy. It's a 2 versus 1 inside the B tunnels. And with a third one moving in on catwalks, so they know where the last guys are, actually. 1 inside tunnels, 1 at the CT spawn. They managed to pick up the bomb here, but Ellie's about to run through the smoke. And Els
good cover by Els.
Exactly.
Really well done. They knew that guy was still floating around somewhere, so Els just decides to keep his eye on it, and that was super well done. Also, Ocean being able to get that kill over towards A really cut off the rotation to help Method try to hold off the B hit and hold them off from getting the bomb back. So some really key frags there from Ocean and from Els to put themselves in position to still tie up this map and put this in the OT, as they will be at 14-15 after this is over.
With the op shot miss, they're going to try to hunt him down with success, salvage an op out of that. And it's going to be the Dragon Lore, and they have a chance to actually bring this to overtime, because look at Method's money situation now.
Yeah. It's rough, man. They're going to get a
double
couple...
scout.
Yeah. Scouts are going to have to put in some work, man. I mean, they are assist masters, and there's a bunch of 5.7s backing them up, so maybe they can make some type of crazy play here. But you got to think Follow Esports finally has them this time around to tie it up, but they do get a tag in immediately.
It did work at some point. So Desi now trying to get the entry inside to B. He gets the first one, down to 46 HP. His teammates are going to try to avenge him towards window, but they flash through towards Long A as well and take down Silent at the Long A double doors inside the cave. So aggressive pushes, knowing the money situation, knowing that they're going to play aggressive. So that's what I'm talking about. This is what's changed from the first match that we broadcast. They flashed in from portions to overtake portions and not overtake a site. And because of that, they overtake the round. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to overtime.
So, I mean, Method throughout the entire second half was always able to just hold Follow Esports off. Every time Follow Esports was like a round away from tying it up, they were able to win a key round, put up a big hold, and be able to keep in the lead. But right there, had finally caught up to them, mostly just because their economy had gotten, withered away throughout the entire half, and they just couldn't come up with a buy that last round to really contest Follow Esports. So now, I mean, this has been a very back and forth game, and it's only fitting, I guess, that we did find ourselves in overtime based on how things are going.
Oh, it's gonna be actually, it's actually quite a good game so far. We saw a lot of back and forths in terms of comebacks, because didn't we say that Method GG lost like 8 rounds in a row to start things off, or 7 rounds in a row on the first half, and then came back to make it an 8-7 game?
Yeah, Follow
on the first half.
Follow Esports had lost 7 rounds in a row to Method in the first half and made the comeback. And it was mostly just because Method's T side, it just stopped working for them. They weren't able to bully Follow Esports anymore. They weren't able just to find the easy entries on the B-bomb site with just a big tunnels rush or something like that. They were finally getting held off. If anything, I feel like Follow Esports had a better T side. I know it was equal. That's why we're in overtime. But I felt like their rounds were a bit more convincing. But then again, Method's rounds where they won on CT side, this half in regulation, it was never close rounds, I felt like. It was always just someone just busting out 3 opening frags at the beginning of the round and just overrunning the round from that point forward.
I think at this point as well, for Follow Esports, playing these first rounds of overtime, I think middle and catwalk would probably be the best bet right now for them, because Desi, with the amount of entries that he's gotten towards mid double doors, okay, maybe not as much, but when he has, it's been quite quick reactions and actually gave them mid control. Right. After that, catwalk. They also take catwalk control very easily, and once they actually make it into the A site, if nobody's playing inside the A site at the boxes at the bomb plant default spot, then Follow Esports should know that they're playing a retake for Method. Just plan towards catwalk, have guys watch towards the flank, and then just hold it off, and that's it. I mean, you have the weakness of Method right there and exploit it.
Right. The only other thing I can think of is I know that Methods had the tendency to kind of give up long A, to be honest. Like they love to double up on the catwalk, or just kind of only have Toy kind of playing it alone for the most part without that much support. So they could just play the numbers game there and try to take some long A control. But you're right. Even when Methods played aggressively on Cat, Follow Esports has still been able to out-trade them in that position. So that definitely seems to be kind of a weak point there. And Follow Esports were several times we're just able to walk up Cat for free. So that definitely could be something that we see them continue to do. Curious to see if Method would consider a double op setup at some point on the CT side just to change things up. Haven't seen them do that yet. Could see one, at the back of B, another one just patrolling the Cat cross. Something like that. So we could see, like, because that overtime is where the adjustments are made, right? Where you pull out all the stops, something to catch your opponent off guard. So I'd be curious to see if we see something something new that we haven't seen at all during regulation being pulled out from these teams.
Yeah, and you could see there on the scoreboard that is brought up to you guys on stream now. So that was 7 rounds, 1 in a row from Method. But then you're looking back at Follow Esports. That's 5 in the remaining rounds of the first half, 5 in the beginning. So that's 10 rounds in a row that they came back with for Follow Esports after. So they played a very strong CT side for both sides, I guess, to start things off. And then once they figured out how things were being played a bit, that's of how their defense is being played a bit, which is a weakness for Follow Esports side on B side, and then a weakness for Follow Esports on catwalk and on mid, and then a weakness for Method on B side. I think we could exploit these weaknesses for both sides for Method and Follow Esports after.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it could be a situation where Follow Esports just rolls with what was working for them there towards the end of the half, where they were able to make the comeback and put this in OT. Or, like I said, you could see them change things up completely, try to give a different look to Method. Same with Method on the CT side. We've seen the double cat setups. We've seen them really focus a lot on mid and B more than really focusing on long A. Maybe they will change it up a bit themselves. I mean, I'm not really sure what to expect. It's been a tight game. It's been difficult to read who actually has the advantage going into this overtime, to be honest.
Yeah, and just one thing, to have a ringer coming through with Desi, look at him. He's at plus 16 in terms of kill death ratio in this whole game, and you got Ocean at minus 10, so at 9 and 19. For that side, when you're looking at how things are being played, Desi and Ocean are playing together towards B, though. So if Ocean is the first one that's going to try to spot them and is not able to get the kills, at least Desi is there to support him on CT side T side, I'm not sure if we've seen Ocean a lot. I think he's been kind of quiet. It's also been Desi getting the openings
And
for
that
the
dude
team.
dropped 35 frags in regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, he played his heart out there. It's one of those situations where when you look at things, I mean, for Method, and this is pretty characteristic of all their games, very tight frag distribution. Everyone is within 5 or so frags of each other. They're all usually putting up similar numbers. They're pretty even packed. But here, basically, you have a stand-in carrying you over on Follow Esports. I mean, Hades and Wabbit have put up some good numbers, don't get me wrong. They like Hades on the CT side, for instance, with the op, was making some really key plays over on the A side of the map. So it's not as if it's all Desi, but he really has been the biggest contributing factor. He's not even on their team. So that's a little bit, I guess, disappointing if you're Follow Esports. We'll see if they can get their act together, though. They did it enough to get it into overtime, so let's see if they can follow it all the way through.
And this is smart money management right now for Follow Esports to start things off. I mean, I guess that was a leg shot coming in from Silent onto Wabbit, but they all have small armor. They don't need the head armor right now, and Toy gets caught jumping midair inside the pit, and that gives an opening right now for Follow Esports towards Long. They actually have 4 guys posted up there. One guy lurking towards lower B, which is Desi, and it should be an easy take as they're playing the passive cat again for CT side.
Again, I think it's just Follow Esports realizing that Method have been pretty laxed on playing over towards this long A, have really been more focused on being aggressive on the catwalk, and so they just exploit that information, and they just take up long A, and now they have a 2-man advantage, bringing the bomb into the site, and Method will have to try to retake. Now, Desi does get caught lurking at mid, so now it's an even 3-on-3. Let's see if, in fact, Method can punch this thing in and get the retake.
Well, they spot Ocean here by jumping, getting some information, knowing he's inside the site. Wabbit's just double stroke here on the platform of Long, misses the op shot. And now one guy dead inside A side. That is Ocean falling down. But Wabbit just holding out Goose, catching Silent, switching weapons. And that is going to be the first round for Follow Esports. But a close round there for Method on the retake.
Yeah, it was a strong start there from Follow Esports, getting, you know, the initial kills to get into the 8-bomb side pretty easily. But as you noted, Method were able to make that a bit dicey there on their retake. I mean, they got a couple of big frags, catching Desi in mid, worked it into a 3-on-3, had a real chance there, but did get shut out in the end. And now they will be putting a 3-man presence on long A. They don't want to give it up this time around, and Follow Esports are not even going to go for it here. They're making their own adjustments at this point, just kind of coming through B tunnels, gathering up over here at the back of Cat, and looking like they want to work some type of mid to B or just some type of Cat cross tactic. They will put the op boosted up over at Blue Bin. I'm not sure why they do this. I think if the op would be much better. You should put a rifler here, and Silent should be opping the Cat cross. This seems really odd, but it's going to be a mid hit.
Yeah, they take over this mid. It's very passive right now for Method because they put more focus towards Long, and it's a whiff shot there from Silent onto Hades. Loses that fight, and that gives the advantage right now for the T side to split towards Long, but Toy's still waiting there. Now they spot them heading back here towards up the elevator. So they spoke up towards CT spawn for them to try to overtake this A side. Justin's at the goose. They know that he's there, but lots of counter flashes to give a chance for his teammates to rotate across. They're boosting through. 4 guys just being across. Toy whiffing his op shots as well. And this is looking to be a round coming in one more time here for Follow Esports as we have a 3-on-1 situation. Strebber, the last man standing. Desi's about to peek out. It's a blind grenade there. A flashbang grenade, should I say, that's going to bind both of them down. The nade putting Strebber down to 16. Desi's going to try to run through and try to get a knife kill, but Strebber says no. Yeah, I guess so. Let me just throw some money away. But because at the end of the day, the round still comes in for Follow Esports, but if they don't manage to get the kill here onto Strebber, that's an AK actually saved.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So again, I just can't really agree with the play. Like, I have yet to see Silent off the Cat cross, and as many times as Follow Esports has been able to exploit the Cat, and the fact that when you look at almost every single top-level team on Dust 2 and how they play CT side and how they use their power opera to watch that position, it just surprises me and baffles me that Silent never does it. They're putting him in like ninja positions with an op at long A, and they're relying on Toy with an M4 to watch that Cat cross. It kind of rattles my brain. I don't really get it. It's hurt him a lot this game.
Just a quick rush coming through here towards mid, towards B. It's forced by, of course, gets to the last round of the first half, and it's finally overtaken now by Follow Esports towards this B bomb site. So Method trying to move back now with Silent and Toy. Toy is now the last man standing. As his teammate falls down towards CT spawn, Toy has to clutch a 4 versus 1. The flash comes through, so they know he's towards the door. He lines up 2 of them for a headshot. Can he get a third one just around the corner? He does with another headshot. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Wabbit inside the pit. A molly being thrown. Toy's making a lot of noise just to try to bait him out. If he actually clutches this one, it's going to be an ace. Oh, he's going to catch him on the side. He's putting him down to 19. He's swinging around to Rosie. But no, Wabbit gets the kill with a P90. If he kept spraying, he had it, but that would have been awesome. But oh my god, yes, Toy plays my heart indeed, 80s. Valiant attempt, but Follow Esports wins 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, he almost made the play there. That was certainly an interesting end to that round, but it's still Follow Esports with the clean sweep on their terrace side. They're on D2, just really being able to exploit that A site the first 2 rounds, and they make a play over at B. That round, like I said, Toy almost made it happen there, but just quite didn't make it, and so it's going to be Follow Esports just needing 1 more round, as it is a race to 19. So we'll see if they can just find 1 CT round. Towards the end of regulation in the first half, they really did get their act together. Was that they were just kind of getting bullied over at B to begin with, and then they kind of made some adjustments and were starting to hold a bit better. So I really think they will find a round here. I mean, I think this should be Follow Esports map now.
It's crazy, too, because it's actually a map chosen by Method, and they can't pull anything on CT side on that hold. It was just, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where they've had some pretty solid wins on Dust 2 throughout the season, but I mean, they've had an equal amount of losses. Though, granted, they've always had close games, and this is no difference. They have a close game on their hands here on Dust 2 for the 5th time in our regular season. But this time around, it seems like Follow Esports kind of has their number. Based on what I've seen and how this thing has played out, Follow Esports should win this one here within the next couple of rounds. Maybe they don't get it right away, but they should find a 19th round here in this OT.
That's right, 19 is our magic number here. We're waiting for the last guys to resume. This is the first map only. In the first overtime, possibly maybe a second, because they have been looking strong, both of them on a CT side. Or should I say even on T side? Who knows? It went back and forth pretty much in terms of who was stronger on one side as soon as they felt each other off.
Yep.
No dirty minds here, boys.
I mean, remember, Follow Esports is the one who won the last 5 rounds in a row from their CT side in regulation to even make this a close game. So they definitely made the adjustment in regulation to figure things out and start defending better. So, I mean, if that carries over, if they did, in fact, figure it out for the long haul, then it's really up to Method to try to throw something different at them. Because, I mean, Follow Esports obviously made their adjustment to what Method was doing and were successful towards the end of the regulation. So now it's up to Method to kick things up a notch.
How annoying is that as well, that since you're live on 3 on the OT, you hear game point sounds every single time. It's like, God damn it, I know we're about to lose, but let's just try to bring it back. And look at Desi, it's 39 and 22, man.
Yep, double op out here for Follow Esports as well. Some Hades will have one towards B, Wabbit will have his towards A, and Method, they're just going to do a quick B rush again. But, I mean, look, Follow Esports is ready for this.
Well, they counter flash to start things off, and they line up 2. Fully blinded, but Toy gets the first one, quickly traded out by Ocean. This could be it for the first map. Last 2 guys are still pinned inside the hallways. Now Silent, last man standing, 4 versus 1. He's about to get flanked from lower B as well, and this is going to be it. Yeah. It's going to be 19 to 15 on the first map.
Yeah, it's just Method trying to go back to their tactic of just abusing the B bomb site and brushing in. But remember, Follow Esports patched that problem up towards the end of regulation there in the first half of the game. And you could even realize that Follow Esports saw that coming. They put 3 members over towards the B side of the map just in case it was going to be that B rush. And it was, and they defended it quite well, and they won the game.
At least they got 2 cases for drops for Method as consolidation prizes.
I suppose so. I mean, I guess they could sell that for like 5 cents on the market. So, every penny counts, right? Just gotta, save up.
Exactly.
Work your way up.
Get those Steam dollars.
But now we are going to move on to Mirage next, and this is a map that Follow Esports has only played once, and it was in